Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, this is just literally going to be a casual chat. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to start with PlayStation Now. But I just felt like shooting a YouTube video, to be 100% honest. I'm working. I just finished a job. I did 2 issues of Nightwing that had been booked, I don't even know, 5 or 6 months ago. It took a long time for them to get started, but I finished that yesterday, which was nice because it was a lot of work, honestly. It was penciled by Ryan Benjamin and I think written by Dan Jurgens. But anyway, that's not even what I wanted to talk about. But it was I think like it feels like a rejuvenation period because I'm done with it and I have one final thing booked, and then I literally have nothing scheduled to do except whatever I want to do, which is exciting. It's been a rough 3 or 4 months for everyone. I still, to this day, see people that I think are struggling with everything that's going on. And even for myself, I really felt like shit. Just, I don't even know what was going on, but for about a month, I really didn't feel good. And so I started exercising a lot more, eating really good, and just watching everything that I did. And I'm totally back to normal now, and it feels great because it was scary. I was like, man, something is up. I don't feel good. And anyway, I have a very strong constitution, but even the beast sometimes can be taken down. So anyway, yeah, I got a PlayStation 4. I'd always wanted one and had just never gotten one. And so I bought a few games for it. I have, I think, 4 or 5 right now. They're pretty random. But I bought a game called Observer, which is actually kind of hard to get. It's very expensive if you buy it, or somewhat expensive. It can go for close to 130, $40. And cheap, you'll get it for like 80. But I got that. I got Grand Theft Auto 5. And they had a deal on PlayStation Now. So for anyone that's into video games, PlayStation Now is actually pretty cool. I got a year subscription for $40, and there's 800 games on it. And granted, it is streaming, but in my office, if I'm hooked to my router and everything, the games run smooth. Now I don't know, like if you want to say competitive smooth, but it's badass. And so I've just been like around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, I play for like an hour, so I don't waste a lot of time with it. But it was just something, I needed something to mix up the night. And I've actually been playing guitar and bass a little bit because I hadn't played in 5 or 6 months. So I've been messing around with that. And I might even be starting a band with a neighbor of mine. You've probably heard me mention him briefly, but there's a guy that lives behind me that plays drums. And I've known him for years, but we're not like friends or anything like that. We just are more acquaintances. But he was playing a bunch of Tool and Periphery and some pretty awesome stuff, Deftones. And I remembered years ago, like he was in the Korn and he was in a band and stuff like that. He went to the Percussion Institute of Technology. So I went over to his house the other day and I was like, dude, I'm like, I hear you playing Tool. I hear you playing all this like cool stuff. I'm like, you want to jam sometime? And I mean, the nice thing about me is I play bass, guitar, and I sing. So I'd always wanted, the dream would be to find a drummer. So we're going to play in a couple of months. I mean, obviously with COVID-19, I mean, some people don't care. But I'm trying to keep pretty good on this. But I started playing Phantom Pain. It's actually very, very cool. I'd watched a walkthrough of a decent amount of the game, but it's pretty hard. I'm not that great of this type of game. I'm not good at stealth. I don't have the patience to be chill. But it's been fun. I've been just checking out all these different games, and it's really cool. So for anyone that's a gamer, this was really cool. Steep, I thought that was fun. I've always been a fan of like snowboarding and skiing games. But dude, this I don't even know what they call this, like free jump. Oh my god, those are the funnest challenges ever on this. But yeah, so let's talk about comics. Comics. Dude, comics is exciting right now. I mean, there's so much good stuff going on, and bad stuff too. The bad stuff is just as interesting to watch as the good stuff in some ways, and not in a fun way. But man, it seems like every couple of days, like the lid is getting flipped off of more stuff, and people are getting outed for past bad behaviors and stuff, which is really crazy to see. And disappointing too. But for me, I always keep it on the creative side, and you know, I only have a very small amount of what I would consider close comic book friends, and you know, like anything, you know, just because I'm in the comic book industry doesn't mean that I agree with all these people out there. And in fact, you know, as I've mentioned in other videos, I do tend to sort of stray away from where many professionals gather. I don't, you know, it's just a weird thing. There's a weird demeanor to some of it, and I've never understood it, but you know, it's one of those things where for me, I would rather just sort of represent myself, represent you all, try to do kick-ass art, encourage people to draw and to create their own stuff, and I kind of leave it there. You know, I really do. I just I don't have a uh, a big overreaching desire to be part of any kind of clique, and so in a way, I think it's actually hurt my career in some ways that I don't network more, but I've never done it to any real extent. And I 100% would never network with people that I wouldn't want to be friends with to get work. It's not my character. I couldn't be that phony. So, in a way, I think it's actually been advantageous to me in small ways too, because you don't get dragged down with this stuff. My cat is funny. I don't know. She woke up from a nap and she's just walking around the house complaining. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Something is awry. A toy isn't in the right place. Something is out of order. But anyway, so Patreon. I'll talk about Patreon for a second because I rarely plug it. But my Patreon is doing really, really well. We're creeping up on, I think, 300 patrons, which is a very high number. I've mentioned before in the past that I've seen YouTube channels where, you know, maybe a video game channel or a guitarist or something that I'll watch, and they can have hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. There was one in particular, I think he had like 1,200,000 subs on YouTube, maybe even more. And he mentioned his Patreon, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, this guy, he must have thousands of people on Patreon. And I went and I checked, and honestly, he had like 30 more people than me. So I think that that's a testament to that I actually do offer something of pretty unique value, and people seem to enjoy it. And I see this on a lot of videos, so I would never pat myself on the back for it. I'm talking about Patreon, but I see it on YouTube where I'll see a comic book channel, and everyone in the comments section, not everyone, but people will go, this is hands down, this is the best comic book channel, you do the best shit and stuff like that. And I get that too, and I've never let it go to my head, but I do appreciate the comment when people say that. But you know, I'm always looking to try to make it better. But you know, I obviously I have to decide, you know, when I do YouTube, is it really worth editing videos and spending 5 to 8 hours to edit a 20-minute video of me inking, or do you run and gun it? I post way more tutorials and art related demos on Patreon. I just decided a long time ago that YouTube wasn't going to be where I was going to plant that flag. I will do small runs of stuff like that on YouTube, but it dilutes the thing, because if your channel becomes an educational channel, then it's not an entertainment channel. And I came to mix it up with people and do more entertainment, but with a focus on art. And so doing a bunch of tutorials, it's just like you're just going to get a very transitory fan base. They're just going to come, try to get information and bail. And it's fine. I don't mind that, but it's not really what I came to YouTube to do. I came to YouTube to be part of a community and to get to know people and to, you know, see their art and stuff like that. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of that, I will plug my friend's channel, and he's going through a rough time. Speaking of health scares and stuff like that, my friend James Smith, you'll see him if you look at any of my videos. He almost always is one of the first people to comment on them. And I've known James for, I want to say, at least 10 years, if not a little bit longer. I met him on DeviantArt, and we've never met in person, but he had a stroke about 6 months ago, and was recovering and doing really, really well. And then like 2 days ago, he had another stroke. So it's pretty scary. And I'm actually very worried about him because he did write me a couple of times, but then I've written him twice in the last like 12 hours. And let me see. Yeah, see, he hasn't even. Oh, he did. I've asked him 2 times how he's doing, and he hasn't replied. That's not a good sign. So I'm concerned about him. So James, if you see this video, I hope that you're doing well. I want you to get back to what you were up to, which is James is a really, really talented artist. In fact, I'll actually link. He has a YouTube channel where he's starting to do book reviews, and they're really interesting. And he's only done 3 videos, but I really liked all 3. He did the Wildcats sketchbook. He did a manga book, and then one other one that escapes me right now. But yeah, so seeing him come back from that first stroke and having paralysis in his hand and his eyes are messed up and things like that was very, very inspiring to me. And now the fact that he's going through this again on the opposite side of his body is one, it's a terrifying thing, and two, I just feel like for anyone out there, if your biggest complaints are that you don't like Marvel movies or that you think that comic books suck right now and stuff like that, you really don't have a lot of problems in your life, like real problems. So, always remember that it's like if you're getting worked up over things that are kind of, I don't know, they joke and call them first world problems. Don't like embrace that. It's great to get fired up and to be pissed off about stuff, and what you do is you need to channel that energy into creative things, meaning that like if you think comic books suck right now, then what you need to do is you need to step up and you need to do something better than that. And we have multiple examples just in the last few months of people doing what they want to do and having a tremendous amount of success. And I'm not going to divide political lines here, but we saw Todd McFarlane make a ton of money on that Spawn Kickstarter. Ethan Van Sciver just cracked $1 million for his Cyberfrog book. Dan Fraga with his first crowdfunded book, which again is related to Comicsgate, which I know people are very polarized on that. I'm not picking sides in this thing. I'm just pointing out examples of people doing comic work that are doing well. But Dan raised, I think, 169,000, something like that. A lot of money though. So the great thing is that now as an artist, whether you're male or female, whatever is going on with you, if you can build up a big enough following, you have a lot of options at your fingertips that, depending on your fan base and the level that they want to support you, you can have a lot of success, and even moderate success is available to you. And the greatest thing about it is and it's been like this for a long time, but I think that there's more of a spotlight on it now. I haven't actually checked out Sean Gordon Murphy's Indiegogo, so I don't know how that's doing right now. For people that want to do a book for a company like Marvel or DC, you have that option still. If you can get their attention and they want to work with you, then you could do that, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Both of those companies have amazing characters, and on the right books, you could do some really kick-ass shit. If you want to try to do a crowdfunded book or even just attempt it at a low level, you don't have to make even $20,000. The fact of the matter is well, I did it with an experiment that I did, which was I did a project that I called Long Gone John, which was a sci-fi comic book that I drew. And because I was having so much trouble committing to a schedule, committing to like letting it go, meaning not being overly critical of my own work, I took kind of I guess it would be the 24-hour comic idea, and I just said every night, because I didn't want to draw for 24 hours straight. I don't think that that's a good idea to push yourself like that. It could be too stressful, and I think you'd get kind of hacky in the sort of the end zone. So my goal was every day to give myself 1 hour to draw a page, and the rule was I could never write ahead. I could not plan it, and when I sat down, I had to sort of assess what I had done up to that point and then figure out what the next page would be. And I penciled, inked, and lettered it and wrote it all in what they ended up taking is 2 hours a page. So, what I found was I could pencil the pages in anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, and generally I could ink everything easily in an hour. But the problem was is filling in the black areas sometimes took 45 minutes to an hour because I would spot a lot of blacks on stuff, and so I ended up having to take 2 hours a page. If I wasn't filling in the blacks, though, I could have easily done an hour a page. But I like a graphic style, and I like I don't know if you. It's like I'm not doing Mignola or Frank Miller, but I mean it's just, you know what I mean. I like to have shadows and patterns and stuff like that, and black and white, really plays up well. But I was able to get through it, and I even published. I think I printed 100 of them, and it cost me. I don't remember what it cost per book. Honestly, I would only be guessing. I'm gonna say it cost. I don't know, $1.50 a book. Maybe I only printed like 60. I would have to look at the paperwork. I have some in my garage still. But it was really, really fun. And I mean, it's like, in theory, that could have been something that I sold, like, really got aggressive with and sold. But it was just more to show myself that I could do something like that. And then, as I'm watching more crowdfunded campaigns go, and not just for comic books, but crowdfunded campaigns for other things, people that write novels, people that write sci-fi or horror, or bands or musicians that are doing things like that. I keep accumulating ideas of things that I would want to do, and if I ever see a good idea that maybe a musician is doing, I'll a lot of times try to go like, what would be like the comic book equivalent of that? Like if I was going to get together, it was I think one was a video game, like Super Deluxe box set, and not a AAA game, but like an indie game. But they had done a box set. I think it was called Holy Diver, actually, is the game. And they had like a few cool sort of tchotchkes, whatever you want to call it, like case candy, that I thought were like fun ideas. It was nothing groundbreaking, but that type of stuff. And I'm just getting more and more excited about Blaster Kid and all the stuff that I've got coming, and honestly, like not an excuse, but me not feeling good for the last couple of months really didn't help my productivity. I had to be really, really careful at night not to burn myself out, because I did have commitments with like work, but like I said, today I feel 100%, which is great because I haven't felt this good in a long time. But yeah, my eyes were getting beat up. I've never wore glasses, and I started noticing that my eyes were kind of getting shitty, and it'd been coming on and off. And it was like if I was super tired, like I would go like, oh man. So I'm gonna get glasses, but I've been using reading glasses to work, just very low magnification reading glasses. They're freaking great, honestly. Even if your eyes aren't bad, reading glasses are the shit. One of my eyes is stronger than the other, but I think that's pretty common with anybody. So it's like it took me a little bit of time to get used to them, but I'm telling you, like my inks have never been more precise with these reading glasses. It's great because I think mine are 1.5 magnification. And dude, you sit in front of your page and you look at it, and you have to ink like a little tiny eye. You can see everything. I wish I would have had them 20 years ago just for like little tiny detail. They're great. So you can get them at like CVS for probably, I didn't buy a super cheap pair. I bought a pair that was maybe like 25 bucks. And when I get real glasses, I think I'm going to actually tell the doctor that I want to get prescription reading glasses for a small detail. I'm just going to explain them. I'm going to go, I draw like literally probably 60 to 80 hours a week. So let's get me on something that'll really help. But yeah, I'm worried about James. James, I hope you watch this, and I hope you're doing okay, because this sucks. I don't like the idea of you being sick. I've known you too long. Hold on, I got a Patreon. What is this? Oh, okay. It's funny because, again, this is just a casual chat, so this hopefully will be fun for people. But on Patreon, the one thing that is so challenging is everybody has like an email name, and you could be, like, for instance, for me, like on YouTube, I'm Richard Friend, but if I have an email address, maybe it's blasterkid at gmail.com. But then like they sign up to Patreon and they've got a different username for that. So I get these emails and it'll be like Tim and Tina, and I'm like, who is Tim and Tina? I have no idea who that is. And then they're like, Eat Led 33 on Patreon and on YouTube. There's some other name, and I'm like, I'm dealing with like 25 or probably close to 40 different people that I review and do lessons for, and oh my god, it's like Jim Lee had advice in one of those old Inside Image, and it was, do you have any advice for aspiring artists? And it was always sign your name clearly. The advice I would take it, like the 2020 version of that is, you have to condense all of your screen names into one name. I've thought this for a long time, and you've heard it on social media. You know what I mean? Try to have your Twitter handle the same as your Instagram, is the same as your Facebook, is the same as your DeviantArt, is the same as your Tumblr, is the same as your YouTube channel. But it is really, really true, because especially if you deviate a lot on the different names, nobody is going to take the time to figure it out unless you're really, really good. And even then, you're going to see a dip based on that inconsistency. So all you people out there that are on Patreon, you've got to tighten this stuff up. And YouTube too. So another thing I'm doing is, in 2 weeks, Ryan Benjamin, Alex Sinclair, and Carl Standa. Originally, I was going to be a part of it, but honestly, I was so busy with YouTube, Patreon, and just my own work that I didn't have time to fully participate in it. They do a thing called Comic Book Boot Camp, and it's basically like an online course. I think that they did do one in person here in San Diego, but they're offering it because of obviously the lockdown and stuff like that. You can do it online, but I'm actually speaking in 2 weeks for one of the classes. I don't know what it is exactly, but Ryan wanted me to do like a 30-minute talk on breaking into comics and that kind of thing. So I'm excited to do that, but honestly, like, it's one of those things where, again, I think people assume, oh, well, you work with Ryan, you've been with him. I don't honestly know if Ryan has ever watched a single YouTube video that I've done, but he's like, it's going to be 30 minutes. So, it might be kind of long. And I'm like, dude, I've done like 1,000 YouTube and Patreon videos. Literally, I'm probably at 1,000 between the two, and all the Journey of 1,000 Miles videos that I used to do and all that. It's like, talking for 30 minutes for me is a piece of cake. A delicious piece of cake, in fact. But all right, so what else I'm gonna try to give you something inspiring, something good. I got nothing. No. I kid. Pat Scott, one of my patrons, gave me a funny compliment the other day. This will lead to something in a minute. He goes, I'm assuming he must have been listening to, was it a review or was it, I think, it was an inking video that I did for Patreon with like a casual chat that I did while I was shooting it. But I said some funny stuff, and he said that his wife was getting mad at him because he kept laughing while he was watching my inking video. So that's a big compliment. If I can make someone laugh or have a better day, then I'm all for it. So, all right, let's look at this PlayStation Now, and you guys tell me what game I should be playing. I'm downloading right now Metro Exodus, or no, it finished downloading, and then I'm doing I'm downloading Fallout 4, because you can download them so that they load better and you're not streaming them. So I'm downloading Fallout 4 right now, and Wolfenstein, what was it? It's Wolfenstein, I'll tell you right now. You guys are like, no, Rich, don't get into video games. You'll never draw Blaster Kid. I'm telling you, it's fine. The only like, honest to God, I'm telling you, I didn't want to admit that I didn't feel good. It's embarrassing to say, but between my eyes and then whatever was going with my health, I just didn't want to say anything. But I didn't feel good. Richie didn't feel good. So not New Colossus, it's the other one. The one that was the lead into New Colossus. Where is it? All right, let me just search really quick. It starts with an O, I think. Can I search? What is it? Japanese treasures. What's if you spot a good RPG, supposedly Fallout is. Dude, I was playing this game called. Hold on, I'll find it. Let me go to W first. You're like, oh my God, Rich, I'm gonna throw up. You're going too fast. Oh yeah, Wolfenstein. This is the one. I'm downloading New Order. because it had better. Oh, they have Old Blood here. Shit. Okay, I just saw a review, and the guy said this one was really good too. I started Uncharted 1, but you know what? I had watched a walkthrough of it, and I was like, do I want to go back that far? Let me know if I can play 2 or 3, and if I really will be missing out if I don't play Drake's Fortune first. Gamers are eating this up. They're like, oh my god, I love talking about games. I watched a walkthrough of Rage years ago, and that was a really, really cool game too. Dude, these Pac-Man games, they're like literally like, because you know every video game has an epilepsy warning. These games will literally give you an epileptic fit. This one I think was when I was playing. Or wait, oh my god, the flashing lights were insane. It was when my eyes were giving me trouble too, and it was like I thought I was gonna take me down. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see, what was this game I was playing? Oh, it was called Killzone. What about Killzone? Is Killzone good? If you were gonna play a Killzone game, which one are you gonna play? I think it was called. Oh, Wrecked. Is it Wrecked? Hold on. Oh, I love Ratchet and Clank. But yeah, man, right now this is $60, but $60 for a year to have access to all these games, I don't think is that bad. And here's the deal. You don't need a PlayStation 4 to have this account. You could do this on a PC, and as long as you have a PS4 DualShock, you can supposedly use other controllers. I didn't have much luck with it, but yeah, all you need is a DualShock controller and the subscription, and these games could be yours. You're like, hardcore gamers probably hate this shit, honestly. I'm a big fan of Hot Shots Golf, believe it or not. What the fuck is that game I was playing? I wonder. Let's see if I can log in. Well, I know I can log in, but it's like I don't really care if people know my name. Oh, it's actually gonna make me type it. All right, fuck that. And that's the most annoying thing about the PlayStation Network is the fact that they constantly make you sign in and you can't bookmark it. I fucking hate that. What was the game called? It's a pretty good adventure game where you play this kind of like, it's a creation where it's similar to like Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, where you collect like bolts and it makes you bigger or smaller depending on how many you have, and it's like it's pretty fun. I was checking out Lego Worlds. It's not bad. It's kind of Minecraft-ish. So if you're going to play one of these two games, would you do Elder Scrolls, this one, or would you Oblivion? What other games? Is Just Cause 4? Yeah or no? I think I started playing... I started a bunch of games. I just wanted to play them all. Maybe it was Just Cause 4. No, it couldn't have been. What was it? Maybe it was. This looks like a David Finch piece. When I saw it, I was like, man, it just looks like Finch colored with digital stuff. And then, yeah, I keep mentioning David's YouTube channel, but he did a really, really good Sunday live drawing event. It was really good. I watched maybe 20 minutes of it, and he's giving great information, and he drew a fantastic piece. So, highly recommended. What about the God of Wars? Let me show you which God of Wars they have here. You're like, no, Rich, slow down. You're going to kill me. Well, so they have Remastered, Ascension. I'm assuming this is God of War 1. So is this the same game? Oh, wait, no, that's God of War 3 Remastered. And then this is 2. And then Chains of Olympus. This. Oh, you know what I was playing? This is actually fun. I'm excited to talk to you guys about this. No one cares about my video gaming. So, no one in my life. It's the same with comics. You would assume that I have a bunch of friends into comics. Sadly, none of my like old friends follow them. Comic Zone. This game is actually pretty fun. I was like, it was actually very cool. I was digging it. I was playing Journey too. I'm about an hour into Journey. Journey is great. Really, really good. I was also playing. It's down here at the bottom. The designs are great. It was. Wait, is it further down? Oh, this Street Fighter Ultimate Street Fighter 4. I was digging it. I was digging it. I fought this huge fat guy, and he just was tearing me up. I don't know many of the characters' names, sadly. Like, it was like I just never really played any of the fighting games, so I was always more into just random stuff. What was my collection? I was into like Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, a lot of the like Wipeout, XL, Cool Borders. What else do I got here? Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Silent Hill, Tenchu, Tomb Raiders. We're good to go. Twisted Metal. And then what did I have? I had I really like Sonic, Jack and Daxter. Those games are great. Gears of War. And I'm a big fan of the golf games, as weird as that sounds. I don't know what it is. Hot Shots Golf is very fun. I bought one of the Tiger Woods, but it was like it wasn't giving me the same fix. So anyway, I hope everyone's doing good. Again, I just had the urge. I don't know if because I feel so good today that I was like, I want to do a video and just talk to everyone. But look, again, if your biggest complaints in life are stuff like that you know, you don't like the new issue of X-Men and stuff like that, you're doing pretty good. So treasure your health, treasure the opportunities that you have in your life to like do something great for yourself, and then know that there's a ton of opportunity out there. No matter what path you want to take, you can go out there and kick ass and make it happen, but you have to commit to it, you know. And part of that is being healthy, you know, healthy of mind, healthy in body. And man, I'm just hoping that James is okay. So again, if you could give a shout out to James in the comments section, I'd really appreciate it. He's a good guy, and like I said, if you look at just about any video I've done, he's on there. And you know, he's one of the people that I chat about art almost daily. Sometimes for hours and hours we'll talk about art. He's an awesome guy. So all right, have a great day. I love you all, and thank you for being YouTube friends. And hopefully one day we'll all meet in person when COVID-19 goes away. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.